A firefighter dies and arrives in the afterlife, where three grim reapers take him through seven difficult trials and a perilous journey through different hells to earn the right for reincarnation. Hey guys, my name is Rohit Sanone, and this is a spoiler-free review of the Korean action fantasy film Along with the Gods, The Two Worlds. Let's get on with the positives. This is a really well-made film on the technical side. It is a highly polished CGI film. The colors pop, the framing, the set design, the color correction, the CGI, all of that is so well done that it is almost on par or even surpassing many of the current Hollywood films that are coming out. Although the level of the CGI is not that of the level of Marvel, it does not take you out of the experience because the level of CGI that this movie has is suitable for the type of movie this is. What they lack in monetary investment, they compensate for that by the style they bring in this movie. I was so impressed by their combination of style and CGI is that I want all of the future Japanese anime live action adaptations to be done by the Korean industry. They were so good in this. I mean, look at this. This is peak awesomeness. They really understand the style that anime goes for. Japan really should stop exporting their live adaptations of anime to Hollywood and instead give it to the Korean industry, for sure. The movie is a balancing act between three different elements: comedy, fantasy, and emotional heavy subjects. And it strikes a perfect balance between all of these three. The actors do their part really well. The three actors who play the Grim Reapers, or Angels, or Guardians, or whatever they are called, they do an excellent job. They exude these cool persona that is really hard to pull off in this fantasy element. The person who dies in this movie, around whom the entire movie is focused on, that is the firefighter, is also a really good actor. He has this likable presence throughout the movie and we root for this guy. At times though, in the beginning, I felt that this behavior of his was kind of over dramatic, that he was overly emotional. Although the reason is given that why he is acting in such a way, and it is justified. In the beginning of the movie, it feels like he's being kind of annoying, but it is a small nitpicky part from my side. The world that we enter in this movie is completely alien to us, but the filmmakers do a good job of easing us into this strange world. They do this with exposition, which I do not like when it is not done well. However, it is a necessary evil in this movie because the world is so strange. We need to know the rules, and the only way to know the rules in this kind of a narrative is through exposition. One thing I noticed in this world that we enter into is that it is a complete bureaucracy and each actor has a personal reason to do his job. The incentive structure is well made. The story is that a fireman dies during his job. Three different Grim Reapers then come and take his soul to the afterlife. There they find out that he is a paragon. It means that he is very important, that he has done really good things in his life and he is kind of above the rest of the people who are going into the afterlife. Consider him like a VIP in the afterlife. So the paragon has to go through 7 different tests. If he passes these 7 tests, he will be reincarnated. That is the gift. However, if he fails any one of those tests, he will go into the different hells that 7 different locations represent. Each of these 7 different tests are a court case in a way. The 3 Grim Reapers who are assisting the paragon are the defendants, whereas the court system itself has appointed 2 different prosecutors to argue against him passing all these tests and getting reincarnated. We slowly find out that these 2 prosecutors really don't want him to get reincarnated, but it is because they want a promotion, that if they get a paragon to fail, then they will definitely get a promotion. Similarly, the 3 Grim Reapers also have a selfish reason to make him pass all these tests and get reincarnated. I won't spoil it for you because it is somewhat connected to the narrative. These personal reasons for essentially employees of a bureaucracy gives and breathes more life to the narrative. Each character feels more real when his actions are connected to the desires of his own. The structure of the 7 tests itself is quite intriguing. These tests are kind of a tool to peel off various layers of the paragon. Every test reveals a part of the past of his life. We understand what kind of complicated life this guy led and what it really takes to be a good human. He had actually done some questionable things in the past, made some questionable choices. The movie examines this on 2 fronts, on a personal level as well as on a philosophical level. Throughout the different tests, we find out that he had a very heartbreaking past, and the final test reveals the level of tragedy this man actually faced. The consequences of his past and his reactions all culminate into this final test, and the movie really nails it. The entire movie is a thought experiment in some sort of a way, told through this fantasy and action lens. It is an examination of human suffering, happiness, virtue, and vices. How each thing is kind of entangled with each other, and how often one thing leads to another. The movie was able to explore this idea without feeling pretentious. It pulled it off with sincerity, with a dash of comedy. A very rare feat. And I am a sucker for these philosophical stuff, and I truly commend the movie for executing it in this pop or general audience format. However, the movie is not perfect. It feels somewhat stretched at times and does not have a coherent center of gravity. Sometimes it feels that the movie is about the Grim Reapers, sometimes it feels it is about the Paragon, sometimes it feels that it is about the family members of the Paragon. There is a long detour the movie takes, where the movie is all about one relative of the Paragon. Although that part is connected to the main storyline, it feels that undue importance and duration is given to that section of the movie. Also, the Paragon, who is supposed to be the protagonist of the movie, is kind of a passive protagonist. His intentions, the true intentions, are not actually revealed for a large chunk of the movie. Only towards the end, we find out why he's acting the way he's acting. If you watch the movie, you will see that the goal of the Paragon is different from that of the plot. That creates kind of a dissonance, which is somewhat awkward to watch during the movie. In the end, Along with the Gods, The Two Worlds is a great example of a rising Korean film industry. The movie displays an authentic style of its own, which is tied to its cultural roots, while simultaneously having an international appeal. There are some problems in the movie, like cohesiveness of the narrative, but it succeeds in getting us into this fantasy world with its unique charm and delivers that emotional punch in the end. I'll give this movie an A-. Guys, thank you so much for watching. From next week, Marvel is releasing their new series What If, so look forward to my reviews on that every Wednesday. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.